Hello guys, and welcome to David Simulator. My name is Serge, and in today's video we're going to be servicing the transmission on this Chrysler 300. So what do I mean by servicing? Well, first we're gonna need to find out how much fluid does it have inside so that we could add a proper amount of fluid. Now this is a closed system, and this being a 3.5 liter engine, the dipstick is located over here towards the back. And when I say dipstick, that's a dipstick location where one could have been. But as you know, many of the cars these days, they're not even sold with a dipstick. Some of them don't even have a engine oil dipstick, like BMWs and such. So for that reason, you will need to purchase something like this. This is a transmission fluid dipstick. And to check transmission fluid, you will need to get it to the operating temperature, and when you do, you could actually finally check it. Now, when I worked at Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, we had very sophisticated ways of testing the fluid, and there's a lot of, I guess, information, maybe too much for your own good, which could really confuse you. What do I mean by that? Well, in your home setting, right? You don't have a computer to be able to tell exactly what temperature your engine is at, okay? But what you can do is have it run for a while, and then you look at your dash, and you'll be able to actually see what's the temperature of your engine. And if it's now, like in the middle or something, obviously, hopefully it's not overheating. But you could tell it's either like in the middle hot or slightly below middle, which is normal for a lot of vehicles. And that means it's already normal operating temperature. This is going to be something fine to take your car down the road and be able to drive it and such. So for me, that would be fine. That would be enough. But what you do at a dealer, you have to do everything by the book because you're a service technician, you're not a mechanic. You have to make sure you actually know. And the way that the dealer will have us do it is we have to plug the scan tool in, and we're actually checking to see the temperature of transmission fluid, okay? And here's the kicker. The temperature will actually drop when you put the car in reverse. And according to the manuals, that is the correct reading for the engine temperature. So it actually would show it the exact level there. Now, according to that temperature of the engine reading, it would tell you the correct amount of fluid to add. Especially if you just replace your transmission fluid, it's going to tell you, okay, well, add 4 quarts or add 5 for this temperature. It had like a variation chart where it crisscrossed with the temperature and the amount of fluid you have to add. Now that's like too precise for what we're doing here, and I always trusted my gut, and I'm not saying it's always correct, but just using your common sense and logic. If your car's already at a normal operating temperature, it's displaying there in your dash. Yes, not precisely, it's not telling your exact temperature of the engine. I mean, it's close, it's within spec. And to me, that's already enough. So what I would do is then put this down and then measure how much fluid we have. And as you could tell, if you have one of these, if you don't, I'm going to put a link in the description. But right here it's got 80 degrees, and right here it's got 25 degrees. So I guess 80 degrees being that it's nice and warm. So I will get this engine all the way to the operating temperature, and we're just gonna go according to what we're seeing over here. So it's giving us within range of this here. What happens if you overfill your transmission? Well, some of the transmissions, they're pretty finicky and you could have an issue. Of course, this is not a nag transmission. Some Chrysler products do have it, like Dodge Chargers and whatnot. They have the electronic hydraulic transmission, which is a neg 1 transmission, 722 transmission with some other dot numbers, which doesn't even matter because they all, once you know one, you kind of know all of them. this is a different type of transmission. It's some kind of 4-speed transmission. And apparently it's the same way to measure it as the neg transmission. So we're gonna have this engine idle for a little bit, and I'm gonna wait till it gets to the mid range, and we're gonna measure it, and I'm gonna go according to the 80-degree mark, because we're gonna know that it's operating temperature, you know. So that is that. So guys, this does take ATF plus 4. This is the funnel that I'll be using. These things work actually pretty well. As you can tell, I got it at Walmart. This says dealer use only, but you could twist it off and proceed. Boy, it's kind of on there. So okay, so I guess we'll do that. So the engine is at operating temperature, so we're gonna stick this in here and measure it. And upon measuring, I don't know, it just seems a little full. Because possibly I bent the tube too much. So according to this dipstick, even though we did not add any, like it's showing like it's got too much. So probably not a good idea to add any fluid. So it's measuring like it's got way too much fluid in there, but I really don't trust it. This car has 104,000 miles. I'm not saying that the fluid leaked out somewhere, but what I will do is add about a half a quart of fluid. And that is just me, so make sure that you follow your procedures correctly. So that's about half there. I will explain why I'm doing this in just a second. Okay, now that's good and tight. Get our devices out of here. So first of all, when you measure in transmission fluid, it should be on a level surface. Now, this ground is slightly going like this. I did prop it up some. It does appear to be, for the most part, straight, but this is not why I added transmission fluid. If you feel like you added too much transmission fluid, you need to look at your transmission and observe to see if it's losing any type of oil. Now, AC condensers, condensation could be dropping, and that could be fooling you to think that that's transmission fluid. But this pan looks nice and dry. It doesn't appear to lose any transmission fluid in the process. But I'll tell you why I added it right now. So for the most part, this Chrysler 300 did not give me any type of trouble, right? But of course, when vehicles sit for a very long time, they may end up giving you some trouble here and there. You know, some things don't like to sit, and things will sort of go out of order. Now, with this engine being 102,000 miles when I started driving it, which was probably like about a month ago, I still think this is quite low mileage, especially for the 3.5 liter engine. Now, while working for Chrysler, I looked up the service history of this vehicle, and I found everything about it. I actually did a whole printout on it, and I have it somewhere. Well, I have it in my file, not somewhere. But anyways, I did not see that it had any type of services, you know, over this entire time. That means maybe whoever bought it did not service it at the dealer. They probably serviced it somewhere else. And by me noticing that it had a Napa filter, I could definitely tell the oil filter, I didn't buy it. That was not me installing that. So somebody else did that, because I don't even really buy stuff at Napa. It's going to be either O'Reilly's, Advanced AutoZone, but most likely I'll just pick up something at Walmart and just go with that. Go for the cheapest solution, because I don't want to spend too much money. So why did I add transmission fluid? Well, here's why. Every time I'm backing up, there's a whining noise going on. It's almost seemed like transmission is slipping. It's kind of like a whine, and sometimes it's very difficult to back up. Like, I'm not talking like at a heavy incline or, you know, like uphill or whatever. Just backing up, it just seems like it does not like backing up. And I actually stalled out the car a couple times by doing that. Just having the gas very lightly pressed, it just seems like it's applying brakes or it's slipping. And the transmission is somewhat whining about it. Like, you could definitely tell it's not liking something. So I'm thinking, could it be low on fluid? That is the very first thing that I would think. Now, I wanted to measure this fluid to see what the level would be. I'm really happy to see that it's actually full, but that's not fooling me. I do think that it's missing about a half a quart to a quart of transmission fluid. It is safe to add about half a quart to be on the safe side. I will see if that made any differences, as well as the power steering fluid that I added, which is also ATF plus 4. It also was whining a little bit. This could be just from sitting. But anyways, I will make a later update video to let you guys know if this helped anything or did it make things worse. Now, I'm not noticing any leaks. It will find the weakest point in the system to leak out excess fluid. And usually it's going to find that space right there where the dipstick for the transmission, where it mounts. And it's only being held by like one bolt usually. And the fluid will just leak out over there, all the excess. So nothing horrible technically should happen. But I will check it again. I'm probably gonna just check it on the level surface just to see where things are. And I will also check it according to how a service technician will do it next time. I will use my computer to be able to tell the exact readings, to look at the actual chart for the actual transmission fluid that you got to put in. But really, in all reality, I should just drain all that transmission fluid and actually service it. But we're not going to be doing it right now because I don't think it had a transmission service. Now, the fluid did not seem that dirty. Of course, it's really hard to tell on the dipstick, but it looked pink to me. Like, it looked good. But I do feel that it does need a transmission fluid service. It does need a brake service. Now, in the next video, we're going to be checking the brake service. Well, actually, we will be checking that. I'm going to show you guys a good way to figure out if you need to replace your brake fluid. Okay, so stay tuned for that video, guys. Thank you so much for watching this one, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.